Hey, brown sackers, BSers, sacks of shit. Still don't know what we're going to call you. Maybe even throw some comments in there. What do you want to be called? Maybe we'll do a vote. Maybe we'll do something wild, something crazy. Anyways, we got another guest episode for you here today. Interviewed my great friend Garrett, one of my best friends in the whole world, last weekend, and his girlfriend Jody, who's become a great friend of ours as well. This is part one of this interview that we had with them. Honestly, we ended up recording for like 5 hours over the course of the weekend, so I don't know how many parts are coming after this. We might even do something fun and make this additional episode, so you can expect the typical Think, Laugh, Cry episodes from Dana and I every Sunday after this, and we'll just be releasing parts 2, 3, 4, and so on of this interview throughout the coming weeks. Cutting episodes. We're going to try not to release any episodes past 30 minutes. That's feedback from you all. You said, yeah, this podcast is okay. Certainly not good enough to listen to for more than 30 minutes. So feedback taken, folks. Anyways, we talk about how Garrett and Jody are enjoyers of life in this episode. We talk about our new drink. We made a new drink for the podcast. We talk about our connection to Miranda Lambert and how she owes us a big one for what we did at her bar in Nashville, and how not to celebrate Halloween in New Orleans. We hope you really enjoy the episode today. We love you. Thank you so much for listening. Dana, anything to say to our listeners before we get into the episode?
Share with your friends and family if you can.
Just so you know, I'm not holding her captive. That sounded like I gave the microphone to somebody who's been locked in a dungeon for the last couple days. But she is a free woman, so do not fear. Anyways, enjoy the episode, folks. We really, really do appreciate you taking a listen to these fun times that we have with our friends. Enjoy.
Can you talk like a song? Okay.
Welcome back to the Big Brown Sack.
Wow. Hello. Welcome, everybody. We have another guest episode for you today, and I am so excited to welcome my longtime childhood friend Garrett and my newfound friend Jody, his girlfriend, a power couple of the century. Dana, hit it.
I can't remember which one it is.
Yeah, there it is.
Thank you.
And Colin is also off in the distance.
What's going on?
You've met him in episode, what episode was that?
I think it was 5.
Episode 5. If you want to hear more from Colin, you will be hearing his commentary today. But if you want more of Colin, if this episode leaves you hungry for more Sea Dog, you can go to episode 5.
Yeah, if you need some more Sea Dog, go to episode 5. This is episode 16. Garrett, Jody, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you for traveling the 12 to 15 hours to get here.
Yeah, it was a long journey, but we made it.
That's a labor of love.
4 corners of the country. We made it here.
Nice. All right, that's it, folks. We'll see you next time on
Thanks.
the Big Brown
Thanks for
Sack
having us.
Podcast.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
We actually have to go anyways.
Yeah, our flight leaves soon.
Alrighty. So we've been hanging out for the weekend. Garrett, I've known you for a long time. Jody, I've known you for the last few years. How long have you two been dating for now?
We've been together 5 years. It'll be 6 at the end. Yeah, in the fall. Yeah.
Is that correct, Jody?
Yes, that's correct. We've been together since 2017.
BC, before COVID. So that's how you know it's real.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you were a couple that made it through COVID
True.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just moved
a
in.
united front.
Yeah.
We just moved in together when COVID hit. I remember being at the gym with
wow.
Garrett like 2 months before, and he was like, "Have you ever heard of this like mystery virus in China?" And I was like, "No, what are you talking about?" And then next thing you know, we can't leave our apartment.
Holy crap.
Together.
And it just had been a few weeks since you guys moved in together for the
No, a
first
couple
time?
months.
Okay.
It was like 6 months, but yeah, we made it through. We made it out on the other side.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could have easily ripped you two apart.
It was a transformative time. It was good. It was interesting, but you know.
And was it your Frederick apartment?
Yeah, our 700 square foot apartment.
Damn, those walls have seen things.
It has seen a lot of things. Cool stuff.
Cool stuff.
Cool stuff.
Sweet
We're like
stuff.
a boring couple though. Like we hang out, we watch movies. We sit on our couch. Like, there's no fighting or anything. No, like, drama in those walls. So
Yeah.
that's why, like, yeah.
Peace.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't think you guys are a boring couple, and
Yeah,
I
me
think
either.
I think there's
Thank you.
Garrett's like, speak for yourself.
Yeah.
Well, I meant, like, there's no drama. There's no,
Yeah.
like,
oh,
yeah.
oh.
There's no gossip.
Got you.
You always don't. You didn't bring any hot tea. You don't want to air out your dirty laundry on our podcast.
We can. I have no secrets.
You're just enjoyers of life, and I think that's you're enjoyers of life. You every time we're together, you guys are happy. You guys are having something good to say, good vibes about life, and I think that's a pretty rare quality. I kind of want to start with the thing we were talking about yesterday at breakfast, which was like setting intentions for the day.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really cool thing that you talked about, Garrett. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I guess I can. It's something that I would feel myself maybe, just going through the days, going through the motions kind of, and found that setting intentions, especially I like writing them down in the morning and being part of the first thing that you do, is set an intention or maybe something you messed up yesterday.
What would be like an example of something that you would write down in the morning, maybe?
Maybe be patient. I feel like I can work a little fast. I know I walk a little fast. Sometimes I get lost in that.
Yeah, they're
And,
booking it up these hills around the city.
Yeah, they were. Well, my legs can't move as fast because I'm 4'9". So then Garrett starts moving. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm sprinting to keep up with you.
Your strides are 3 of my strides. Your one stride are 3 of mine.
Yeah, slow down, please.
So, something like that. Like, be patient with coworkers or something, or,
Jody's slow ass.
Yeah, keep up. Let's go.
Well,
That sets the intention of the podcast.
Jody, let's start with you. What is your intention? Speaking of which, what is your intention of this podcast today? What do you want? What do you want to get out of this?
I said it earlier, and I'll say it again at the end of the podcast. I want people to think about, what's a friend I haven't talked to in a while, or I haven't seen in a while. I'm gonna hit them up. Let's go on a trip. Or let's just get together. Everybody lives far away from their friends now that we're in our late 20s. Like, a lot of people don't live in the same areas they grew up in, or they moved across the country like Joe. Like, just hit up a friend that you haven't talked to in a while, and
Make a plan.
make a plan to see them, to talk to them.
Prioritize it. It can be so hard to prioritize.
Yeah, definitely. When everyone has their own schedule, their own stuff going on. Yeah, hit up your friends.
It's worth it.
It is worth it.
Why is that so important to you think?
Well, last week, before we came to Seattle, I went to my parents' house, and I saw my best friend that I grew up with. It's like one of those friends, it's a forever friend. It doesn't matter how long you haven't talked to that person or you haven't seen that person. Like, we picked up right where we left off.
Awesome.
And it put into perspective, like, I don't hit up this person as often as I should. I don't ever, reach out to see how they're doing. And it reminded me that, like, those friendships are the most important, the long-lasting ones. Because that's a forever friend. And I don't want that person to ever feel like I don't care about them or I don't care about their life. So it was a good, reality check. Like, even though you live far away, always checking on your friends, how they're doing.
Yeah.
Because then we got together and it was so fun, and we reminisced on stupid shit we did as teenagers or as little kids, and she pulled out all these pictures and memories that I forgot about.
Yeah.
It came back,
Wow.
and I was like, oh my gosh, I remember that. And you remember something different, so your interpretation is interesting of the situation. So it was fun to get back together with her.
That's such a good experience.
So now I'm with new friends, and it's just a good reminder to, always keep up with your friends.
Yeah. And it can be hard to do, harder than you think. That's why years goes by, and then you're like, oh, in my heart, I know I love them and care about them, but I'm not speaking to them.
Yeah.
And if you let that go on too long, you can lose out.
Yeah, definitely. You can lose out on big life events between their family and their jobs and careers, especially in your 20s. You want to feel supported by the people around you, but I don't know for anybody else, but for me it's hard to reach out and ask for help. Mm-hmm. So just a reminder that for my friends, my new ones and my old ones, like I'm here even if I don't reach out all the time or like even ask how you're doing.
Yeah.
Totally.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and that's a really important message, and I want that to be a theme of the podcast, and you explained that beautifully. I also realized that I'd been playing music in the background this whole time. I don't know if you noticed that. I just turned the music off, so
I did notice that. Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to run into any copyright violations for the first couple of moments of this podcast or not. But also, I think this is a good time to say Colin is making what is this drink that
It's
you're
our new
making?
signature drink. It's our new BBS signature drink.
What is this drink that you're making right now, Colin?
It's called the Red November. It's 1 part champagne, cheaper the better, 1 part orange juice, 1 part Rainier, 1 part Freedom, baby.
4 main components.
So it's basically a mimosa topped off with like a cheap beer from around where we live, which is called Rainier. So
Thank
top
you
off a
very
mimosa with cheap beer. You put way too much beer in
It's
that one.
honestly
though.
so good.
Yeah,
And I
it's
don't
delicious.
like beer, and I like that version more than just your classic mimosa.
Yeah. So don't sleep on the Red November drink.
It's like perfectly hoppy, a little bit,
Yeah.
a little sweet too.
Yeah, it sweetens it.
Yeah.
in a weird way.
It's peppy beachy, great on the sand.
Right. Right. All right.
Hey, can we like lighten it up a little bit?
Yeah.
Let's get like relaxed.
Yeah. Sit back.
had a
relax. We had a.
very pleasant British Uber driver last night.
Oh, I forgot about him.
This guy got
Edward.
swagger.
Yeah, he was sharp dressed.
I did something super embarrassing in that Uber ride that I thought I got away with because I thought I played it off okay, and then it's like the first thing you guys said when we got out of the car.
What?
Hey, Dana, I heard your British accent come out.
Oh yeah.
No, it's like you can't even help yourself.
I really can't.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had, if you missed that, it was a British Uber driver
From
who had
London.
From London.
From London.
Had a little bit of a British
I
accent.
could. It was so strong. I could hardly understand what he
Yeah,
was saying
same.
half the time.
Super strong accent, and so naturally he asks Dana a question. She answers in a British accent. And then says about 3 or 4 words and immediately switches back to the American accent, realizing what she has done and thought none of us would notice.
Brutal. Thought
Of course,
I played
we
it
all
off.
did.
Thought
Of
I
course,
played
he
it
did,
off.
probably, but was a nice
He
enough
was like,
guy.
did I just hear a British accent?
He was working for the tip. He would have let you said whatever
You're
you
not
wanted.
the first.
Yeah.
There
You are
can't
not
be.
the first. Yeah.
One thing I do want to talk about is how we pick up, knowing you guys are coming out, especially after the time we had in Nashville too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Gashville, baby.
That was great.
Gashville, baby.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
What's one memory that sticks out about that Nashville trip this was a time when all of us were together, including Colin.
Honestly, we were just talking about it, and the most fun part for me, at least. Well, I mean, I had a great time the whole weekend, but that night when everybody was kind of like tapering in and arriving at different times, but we had a headquarters,
Yeah.
and we were like, report.
A honky tonk.
When you guys show up, you know where we're at, and we're waiting for everybody to get here.
We're
and
at
then
the
we're
honky
on the
tonk.
move.
We're at the honky tonk on
And we were
Broadway.
requesting
It's Wednesday night.
Oh yeah.
It's Wednesday night, yeah.
We were the only people standing
Yeah.
on that level of the
Yeah.
But as soon as everybody was walking in, when we were requesting songs to the band and everything, it was
That was a great
it was awesome.
lead way into the weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then we went to Miranda Lambert's
Oh, dude.
and burned
Wow.
holes in the floor.
that
Yeah.
shit to the ground.
Yeah.
Oh,
Honestly,
that was such a good time.
That's about as hard as I go nowadays. Like if us and Miranda Lambert's bar just
That's my
absolutely
peak. That's my peak. Yeah.
tearing up the dance floor. I mean, they might as well have had taken down the pictures of Miranda Lambert and put pictures of us up
Yeah.
on the walls. Because
I mean, we took
own
over
that
the whole
place.
stage.
We own that place.
Yeah, we did.
We own that place. Let's be honest. Dana was literally pushing people off the platforms. Do you remember that? You were pushing grown men off of these dancing
I believe
platforms.
that.
This is for
I don't imagine me pushing like other girls up, but if there were guys like on a platform they weren't you guys, like you have no business being up here.
Oh no, you were
I'm
inviting
not
girls.
afraid.
You were inviting girls up, but you
Yeah.
were pushing guys off.
Yeah, let's replace.
Not above
Let's
pushing a
rotate.
guy.
I'm not above that at all. In fact, I seek opportunities.
I find the opportunity to push off a guy from a dance floor.
Oh yeah, that was such a great time, and hey, we were talking about like getting together with friends, and I think that's a great way to do it. It's like Halloween every year. You guys plan a little something, invite all of us.
Yeah.
So like make it around a holiday. That's an easy way to just like remember to bring people together.
Sure. And Halloween's great because anywhere you go, it's a party on Halloween. You know.
Such a good
Yeah,
point.
sleeper holiday in my opinion. Halloween.
Yeah, it really. I mean, if you lean into it as you get older, it's better than it was when you were a kid.
100%. Yeah. 100%. What's your favorite Halloween costume? This is for both of you. Favorite Halloween costumes ever?
Well,
Oh, I have mine. Do you want to go first?
I'll go first, and
Okay.
it was a pair. It was when we dressed up as Batman and Poison Ivy in New Orleans.
What?
That's a really good story.
I
we need a
remember you.
picture.
You were a very serious Batman.
Oh my God! Well, where is he? So that was great.
Yeah.
That was probably my favorite one because it was just hilarious, and we both went hard on
So
the
you guys,
costume.
this was just a trip, just you two, right?
Yeah, just us two. I've been telling Garrett that I wanted to go to New Orleans for like months upon months, and he was like, we should go for Halloween. And I was like, oh, okay. And then Garrett wanted to do a couple's costume, and I was down for anything as long as we were going to New Orleans. And Garrett was like, we should be Batman and Poison Ivy, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. But when we got to New Orleans, the first night we were there, we went to a locals bar, like a locals dive, and we were like, what? Where do like the locals go? Like we don't want to look like we don't want to look like tourists.
Yes.
You know, these just us two. And they were like, well, do you have costumes? And we were like, yeah, we have costumes. Well, we have one really good costume. And they were like, you are, a week late. We've already been celebrating Halloween for a week. Make sure that you guys dress up, all weekend. And me and Garrett were like, oh, okay.
Wait,
we
way.
will. Yeah, we will.
Even leading up to the trip, my stepmom knows people that live there, and she got in contact with her and was telling us some cool places to maybe go, and she mentioned like, just don't even leave without a costume on, because everybody's going to be dressed up crazy. It's going to be awesome, have multiple costumes. Just pack costume.
Yeah, like wake up in the morning, don't put on regular clothes, put on a costume. So me and Garrett took that very literally. Yeah. But one day I had signed us up for a cemetery tour because those are really big in New Orleans because of the graves and how they used to bury people. So it was a Saturday, and it was like the 29th. So it wasn't even Halloween day. And
But
wake up.
it was Halloween weekend, and it was Saturday. So we figured and
This
we
is
even
the
thought
day
the
to-
night before, we were like, all right, we're dressing up tomorrow. Like we're leaving here, and so we left.
Yeah,
in the Batman and Poison Ivy all out.
Mind you, it's 9 a.m. and we're all out. Even Garrett's like, should I do the eye black around my eyeball? And I was like,
Should I mask up right now?
and I luckily told him no. I was like, no, don't do that. So like the cemetery tour met up at a coffee shop, and we roll up to the coffee shop, and nobody's dressed up. Nobody's dressed up, and
Not a
I was
single
like,
person.
no.
And this is when you guys were in Batman and Poison Ivy, and it was like you guys went for it.
Yeah,
really.
like the wig and everything,
Yeah.
the capes, everything.
I had gloves on.
He did. He had gloves on.
And we were like, pulling up. And
Did
we're
you
like,
do the voice?
perfect.
Did you do the voice? Please tell me you did the voice.
So we were like, perfect. Like, we're going to roll up. We'll get a coffee before the tour, and we'll go. And we get out of the Uber, and
Nobody's dressed up.
So we were like, all right, well,
Let's go inside
we don't
the
want to
coffee
look
shop.
like tourists or anything. Only people in Halloween costumes.
Exactly. So we walk inside the coffee shop, and
Right.
still nobody's dressed up. And then we look over, and a kid sobbing, staring at Garrett because Garrett's has the costume on, and he has the walk, and he has the voice.
Oh my god!
So you didn't give a
'Cause if
fuck
you're
that other people
gonna-
weren't dressed up. You were going for it either way.
You're just like,
bro,
well, now I have
the
to sell
costume
it.
on. I'm Batman. What am I gonna? I kind of play it all the way. But I walk in, and there's this long table, like right next to the door as you walk in, and there's two little kids towards the end. No older than 10, both looking up at me like, "Oh my god, it's Batman." And I'm like, oh my god, I'm
And you
Batman.
sell it.
But I tried to, but I didn't want to be like, Yeah, I don't know.
A
I mean,
creep.
in that hard. I'm
Can
the
you do
only
the
one
voice?
A
dressed up.
creeper.
Yeah, do the voice.
Can you do the voice, please? Do the voice.
I didn't really have like I just did
Do the voice.
Who said that? Don't do the voice.
Let Garrett prepare, and I'll tell the rest. Never mind. Okay. Order a beignet in your Batman voice.
I love that you're sitting on like the exercise ball right now.
Yeah, this is well. I wonder if the audience, you guys don't tell us this. How often do you record and it's not on the big round sack?
Oh, this is the
Only
second
when we-
time ever. This is the
second
second time we ever. And look, dude, don't fucking
Sorry,
out us
sorry.
like
Wow.
that, man. What the
God, that's
Come on.
so embarrassing.
I'm lifting the curtain. And the great and powerful Oz is revealed.
Oh my god.
No, but I'm doing it from the big orange ball.
Big
That's
orange
what- that's what-
ball sack.
Yeah. right.
Yeah.
That's the title of this
There you go,
episode.
the
Big orange balls.
This is the first episode of season 3, Big Orange Ball Sacks.
Featuring Tacoma's 10s.
The Tacoma 10s.
Dude.
The Tacoma 10s. That's right. Our
Yeah,
two
we were
ladies.
running that shit. Yeah, last
out-
night too. What's with you and I getting together and we just start running shit?
I mean, 2 Tacoma 10s.
Two Tacoma 10s. is
Walk
what
up
it
to the
takes.
bar alone.
We left the girls alone for no more than 5 minutes. And they walk back with not only drinks for themselves, but free drinks for us too. Like,
Yeah.
who does that?
Shout out.
Well, the guy had asked me after I ordered 4 Coronas and 2 shots tequila. He was like, "Are you guys drinking 2 shots? Oh, a shot each and 2 beers?" And I was like, "Yes."
Yes.
So that's when he asked the bartender whatever they're drinking.
Yeah, she didn't skip
Yeah.
a beat. It was really impressive.
Yeah.
Whatever they're drinking, add to that, and then held out the card to pay for their drinks. I'm like elbowing Dana because he's on one side and Dana's on the other, and I was like, I think they just paid for our drinks.
And I immediately just like heads down in my hands. Like, I don't know what to do. I feel so awkward.
Yeah, me too. Because I'm like, what do I?
But then
do?
I'm like, also, I think we're going to get away with this.
And we almost didn't because they were like, okay, get your drinks and let's go to this table. And I was like, no, we're already at the bar.
Dude,
let's
she
just
didn't
take.
skip a beat. She was like, oh, well, we're right here. Let's just do it right here. I was like, how'd she get us out of that?
I was like, do it right now. Right now. I want to take this right now. This gold tequila. I want to vomit right now.
For context, we were at like a super country bar last
Yeah,
night.
we were
They
getting our Nashville on. We missed it.
literally have
bring it back.
a dance floor that has rules.
That was intense place, man.
It was intense. They have a mechanical bull there. You can't bring drinks on the dance floor. People are going crazy, like square dancing. It's like
I
you
was
don't
really
just-
impressed
You
by
just
the
you don't
dancing.
just walk on the dance floor. Like, you got to know your shit,
Bro, that's
gotta
what I
know your
noticed.
steps.
There were people that, I mean, from what I saw, looked like strangers that just kind of bumped into each other doing the right thing on the dance floor, and all of a sudden they were dancing together. And you better know that, you know,
Oh,
you
the
better be ready
synchronized
to go.
clapping.
It was a
Yeah.
beautiful
Stopping.
thing. It was
and they
a
were
beautiful
going
thing.
so fast. Like, there's no way they were just making it up on the spot. Like, the girls were doing
Oh, no.
twirls,
Oh,
and the
yeah.
guys were jumping around, catching them by like the neck as they're about to fall on the ground.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa! And so that's the place we're at, by the way. And so, Jody, I feel like maybe you just being like, yeah, these 4 beers are for me. He was like, oh, fuck yeah.
This girl knows how to two-step.
She knows how to get down. She's seen her way around a honky tonk before.
Yeah,
That's
she's
right.
been too long.
Wearing
right.
my pink Vans. I look like a country girl.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. But yeah, so I want to revisit the Garrett being Batman.
I'm like, yeah, I'm not done with that.
I'm not done with that either. And it's
Can we keep going right now while it's fresh? That
We
was
can go
really
back
good.
to that coffee shop.
So
Okay.
you guys are in this coffee shop,
We're getting some gumbo for
full
brekkie.
costumes.
Yeah, gumbo
No one
and
else is
Coffee.
it.
No.
What did you think, even for a split second, or maybe you did and you acted on it? My instinct would be, we got to go back and change.
that was my instinct. And Garrett was like, "We're fine."
I was like, you know what? We're out on the outskirts of town. Maybe not out here. Maybe, you know, we'll do this early. We were at a graveyard, so it was like that's why we're out there. And we're like, you know what? Let's do this. We'll hang in there, and we're gonna go eat or whatever after this. You know. So
Well, the idea was we were going to go to the cemetery
wait,
tour,
did you go
and
to
then
the
we're
graveyard
going.
in costume?
yes,
Yes.
the tour.
What?
We met at the coffee shop.
That's
before the
Oh
tour.
my
that's where the
God.
meetup was at
That's
this
why
coffee
I'm like,
shop.
why aren't we getting?
Wait.
So
You guys showed up to a cemetery tour in
Yes.
Halloween costume.
The idea was we were going out after.
it was Halloween.
Oh my god.
We thought everybody was gonna be so we're walking through
Hindsight's
10
2020, you know.
Wow.
You know, and then they have this interesting way of burial ceremonies down in New Orleans, where after a year it was like completely decomposed because you're buried above the water line and everything, and so they would go sweep you to the back and then put another family member if they needed to, and it's kind of like a perpetual tomb, you know.
Whoa,
and
that's gnarly.
and
That's really
hence why we went on this tour. It was really fascinating, but we were as Batman and
Poison Ivy.
So I couldn't ask a question.
But what was funny is people kept looking at us.
Where's the body?
Yeah.
And asking us questions. I mean, people aren't even paying attention to the tour guide. They're like, cool costumes.
Yeah.
Like,
The
people
tour
keep
guide
talking-
stopped us before we left. She's like, "Oh my god, I love this movie. Can we take can I send a picture to my friend?"
Okay, we are gonna edit a picture. Do you guys have a picture you could send?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah, we have
Send us
that.
pictures,
Hundreds,
and
yeah.
you can, if you're watching the video of podcast on YouTube, you'll be looking at it right now.
Yeah. Okay.
That
so
is brilliant.
Awesome.
I have a picture of us in the coffee shop. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That we took a picture because where we were sitting at this like bar, it had a mirror right in front, and I was like, well, let's take a picture to remember this moment.
Can you see people in the background not in costume in the picture?
Probably, yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Yes, dude.
But yeah, we went through this whole like hour and a half cemetery tour in costume, and when the tour guide would like ask people, like try to engage the audience, she'd be like, "So Batman, what do you think?" Or like, "Hey, Poison Ivy," like totally.
Yes.
Like we're such the center of the attention. We're taking away from this experience and from these dead people. And even as we're walking through, Garrett was like, "Now that I'm thinking about it, this is like really like inappropriate and really disrespectful to the dead."
oh my god.
I
A whole
hope
other layer to it.
I hope the dead has a good sense of humor and they
Yeah.
find it
I'm
funny.
sure they do.
Oh, they probably see like dudes in khakis and polos all the time. You guys
Right.
were probably a breath of fresh air.
Oh, what's this? Yeah.
Oh, what is this? Okay, wait. So, like, was everyone like? It was a very serious tour.
Absolutely
It wasn't like
serious.
a
I
fun,
mean, it was
like
kind of like a fun, like haunted
Halloween
kind
haunted
of.
vibe.
Definitely a little bit more fun than the usual one, considering that you guys were there.
Yeah, we probably upped that game a little bit. but
Sure.
I think they were kind of like a quirky, kind of fun, interesting history tour thing.
But then we leave, and I was like, Garrett, like, let's go change. And Garrett was like, no, we're already out. We're already wearing
got through
costume.
the worst of it.
Yeah.
Let's go to Bourbon Street. There's gonna be other freaks dressed up too.
Yeah.
We're not gonna be the only ones. So I think we took an Uber to Bourbon Street. It's like the other side of the city, and we're walking down because when you get dropped off at Bourbon Street, you still have to walk down an alley before you even get to it. So we're walking down this alley, and I'm looking around, and still nobody's dressed up.
Yeah.
Nobody's dressed up. My wig's falling off.
You starting
I'm
to
like,
panic? Are you panicking?
I'm panicking. I'm
Some dude was like,
sweating.
"Hey, Batman!" I was like, maybe let's go change.
I'm so embarrassed. I stopped Garrett on the street, and I was like, please, like, let's get an Uber back. Like, we have to go change.
Yeah, you can't stand it any longer. It's too much.
Yeah, it's too much. So we went home and we changed, and then we met up with a childhood friend of mine later on in the day, and then we dressed up again. But the sun had gone down, and everybody else was dressed up by this point, so it was fine.
Okay, thank God. Thank God.
Oh my.
You guys, you probably should have had, you know, looking back, probably do the tour, you know, go back, grab some lunch, hang out a little bit, and then as the sun starts to
So
fall.
you didn't even see one other person dressed up?
Not until nightfall.
Maybe like they were a child.
Oh,
But,
Right.
No
yeah,
way.
no, I remember looking around and not seeing anybody and being like, we have to go change. Like, I don't want to be in the background of people's pictures.
So did you, like, text your aunt after and be like, hey, idiot?
Yeah.
What the hell what were you thinking telling us to do that?
No, really, it was funny. It was all good, man.
Yeah, it's
It
a good
was-
story.
yeah,
Like,
it
every
was
time we tell
hilarious.
people, they laugh, and it's a good, like, memory of being in New Orleans and being, like,
Wow.
leaning into, like, the weirdness of what New Orleans is. And, like, we were a part of it. And good point of, like...
Are you crying, Dana?
We didn't
Yeah.
want to look touristy, but then we were the tourist.
I wish so bad on the cemetery tour, Garrett, you would have just been like, they like are explaining how like the bodies get pushed back to the back of that tomb, and then you just raise your hand, and he's like, yes, Batman, and then you just go, where's the bodies?
Where is she? in the back of the tomb.
Yeah,
sweep the group.
as explained, sir.
Where is she?
So good.
That was a hit costume. That was a hit costume.
It was legit. I had like
Yeah.
the utility belt and everything. It was pretty sick.
Yeah, and as we go on to our next topic, I do want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Chomps. Colin, you've been eating about 2 meat sticks a day since you got here. Do you have anything to say about the brand you've come to love so much over the past 7 days?
It's tremendous. They're great. Delicious. That's it.
You heard it here first, folks. You heard it first here, folks. All right, folks. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. That's going to be it for part 1. Keep an eye out for part 2 as they come. We hope you enjoyed the episode and look forward next week on Sunday, where Dane and I will be going back to our original theme of the Think One Thing That Made Us Think, Laugh, or Cry episodes. And we'll be sprinkling in parts 2, 3, 4, 5. Who knows how many? Could go all the way up to 69. We'll see you then. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.
Toodles.